Hi everyone, Tintin57 here with another Train Sim World 2 video, and today I'm back with another scenario from Creators Club. You knew I would be. This is a Creators Club scenario involving the First Great Western liveried HST, and I'm doing another of these with this livery because the first video I did with it on Great Western Express was very popular. This particular scenario was once again uploaded by community member TomFresco, who also provided the scenario with the Class 08 on Bakerloo that I uploaded to the channel a couple of days ago. This time we're taking the First Great Western HST on the Tees Valley line between Darlington and Redcar Central, calling at principal stations along the way. Thanks again to TomFresco for submitting this and sharing it with us, and if you also want to grab this, you can see the details right now on the screen. Right, so here we go. Let's get everything set up. Still can't get over how nice this livery is. Really looks good. Okay, so let's get the master key on and we'll put it forwards. Safety systems. Get the gauge lights up. This is Darlington Station. It's quite dark actually in Darlington Station right now. Must change the headlights. Don't want to forget those. Okay, we should be good. Put it into notch 3. That's lovely. So our first stop today is Thornby, which is in 10 miles. These scenarios usually have a few surprises along the route, so let's have a look out, see what other traffic there is. Now, I think we can get up to 60 or 70 miles per hour on this route. So not as fast as Great Western Express, but it'll still give us a chance to get some speed up. You just saw in the background there was also the 166 from Great Western Express, which is also in this First Great Western livery. Hope everybody's enjoying these videos so far from the Creators Club. The last one I did with this livery on Great Western Express was actually really popular. And thought I'd run this one as well. And in that first video, if you saw it, I actually was looking at this livery because I wasn't aware of its origins, and I was under the impression that this livery had been created by somebody as part of the Creators Club. I didn't realise, because I'm on console, I didn't realise that this actually is a skin that was indeed made by DTG and was in the game. It just wasn't accessible to anybody on console before now. So apologies for that. If you're watching that video and thinking, what is he talking about? That's why. It's only now, looking at the forums, I've realised. I thought this was a very, very nice livery, and such an attention to detail, and indeed even the interiors have been done. So I don't know whether or not this will ever be released officially by DTG so that we can use it in timetable mode, but fingers crossed. So very shortly we'll be able to speed up. Tees Valley, of course, is another one of those routes where you can just hop in and out when you feel like it. There's some good heavy freight on this route. There's a class 20, of course. The class 31 runs freight and passenger, and we've also got, of course, the class 37, which is the stock freight loco that came with it. When this route originally came out, I bought it on the strength of the 37. The 37 as a kid was always my favourite train. I used to look out for that as it went past, because I lived near the West Coast Main Line and could literally see them from the window. So I always used to look for those, so I was excited about that. Another 166 there in the First Great Western livery. So there are some scenarios for that 166 as well, also by TomFresco. I've subscribed to a couple of those. Having this class 43 on this route is quite different, but in this livery, I was saying to some viewers that had left comments last time, this class 43 in this livery, it's almost like a new DLC. That's what it feels like. It feels like a new local DLC. So Creators Club is, I've played more and more this weekend, and there's so many different liveries there that I've not even seen before that are real liveries. There was one class 66 that I downloaded, which was to do with climate change, and I did find out from a friend of mine who is a driver of a class 66 for GB Rail Freight. He said that indeed is a real livery. I didn't realise it's a very bright green livery. You'll see that on the Creators Club. Just search for class 66. And I was running that down the East Coastway and enjoyed every minute of it. And again, it felt like a new DLC. So, you know, there's no question that Creators Club is breathing new life into this game. Love this detail on the side of the coaches. So don't forget to let me know if you found anything interesting on the Creators Club. I want to know about it. I'm looking for new things all the time. We'll run some of these on the channel. There may be some, because I'm on the PS5, there may be some where I've got to swap the routes in and out, because of course with the 64 gig limit I'm not able to have all the routes that I've got installed at any one time, so I'm having to switch around. I did put Sherman Hill on last week when I picked up in the sale, but I had to lose, I think I had to lose Clinchfield and the TGV route just to accommodate Sherman Hill. So it's an unfortunate situation, but I know Matt and the team are working very hard to fix it, so hopefully that comes through soon. So Creators Club is good for that, but it makes me want to play a lot of the stuff I haven't even got installed, so there's a lot more swapping around. Keep seeing the little icon when you go to subscribe saying there's missing content, which is a shame, because I do own almost everything in TSW2. So 7 miles to Thornaby, and we're in a 30 limit just now, which in this HST seems very slow, as we see a 101 riding past us. The 101 of course came with Tees Valley. So we're just going into the 60 now. Acknowledge the warning board. And just whilst we're moving along here, thank you to all the new subscribers that have come on board over the last few days. Much appreciated, helping me get to that 500 goal. seen a couple of 166s going past, we've seen the 101, and I'm sure, knowing these TomFresco scenarios, there will be others before we reach Redcar. I did ask Matt in one of his streams last night how to pronounce Redcar. Is it Redcar or is it Redcar? Because I'm sure I'd heard it. It reads as Redcar, but I'm sure I'd heard it as Redcar in a few of the streams, and he said, yeah, Redcar. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you might know it as Redcar. That's where we're going to today. This is the airport station. If you look carefully, you'll see the aeroplanes flying. The two tend to zip across. The airport is just to our right here. And there's just one that goes up and around across the front of us here and back round in a sort of circuit. So with Great Western Express running this HST, we of course were able to drop the hammer and get right up to 125. As I mentioned at the start, I think 60 or 70 may be the limit for the Tees Valley route, but it's quite nice to be able to just run at this speed. It's a bit different, provides some variety. And with the Creators Club, I've been doing a little bit of swapping unusual locos with unusual routes, and I uploaded one yesterday, a new scenario called Prairie Commuter, which is on Sherman Hill, and it's running the Javelin from one end to the other, from Cheyenne down to Laramie, and that's a very good run as well. Just over an hour, I think an hour and 10 to do that. Gives you a chance to stretch the legs of the Javelin somewhere other than Southeastern High Speed. So that is on there, and there is a bit of traffic you'll see coming the other way on there as we pass a 66 pulling some freight. So I think I've just got the two scenarios uploaded to Creators Club so far. I didn't get as much time over the weekend as I'd planned to actually look at those and just test the ones I've got and make sure they're working, but I will be uploading those. I've still got a bit of strange behaviour going on with the Creators Club, certainly on the PS5, with scenarios and liveries that I've subscribed to going missing, and that's despite logging in and out of Dovetail Live, restarting the game, etc, etc, the usual stuff. But there's another HST just passing us now. So as I said in a previous video, you know, the Creators Club is in beta, so you know, we rightly don't expect it to be perfect. I think since it's been live on Thursday, we're in a period of observation. Let's say DTG will be gathering all the information on who's uploading, downloading what kind of traffic there is, what the strain is on the Dovetail Live servers, because Dovetail Live is of course keeping everybody's profile, but it's also recording mastery. It's got Creators Club, of course, it's got the railfan shots as well, so there's a lot going on that server, so I'm sure that is also being monitored, and I don't know what the setup is for that server. I assume it's some cloud server somewhere. But that heavy traffic it's probably had over this first weekend will quite naturally start to lessen, I would say, over the coming weeks. But everybody's pretty excited about it right now, and at the time of recording this video, which is 28th of February, DTG are actually doing a stream this evening specifically about Creators Club, where they're going to run some scenarios, and I think liveries. They'll probably run any fictitious liveries that are on there, and that stream is tonight on Dovetail's channel, so I'll be tuning in for that. See if they've uncovered any gems that I may have missed. So we've got a slow section now just through this station. I just noticed a route map that I hadn't collected on this station, which then reminded me that as part of collecting the trophies, I think in the original Train Sim World and then the Train Sim World 2 for PS4, I've been round twice to get the trophy for the collectibles on this route. Now I'm on the PS5, if I want the trophy I've got to do it a third time. I know collectibles aren't for everybody and they can be a gimmick for some, but I do like to get the trophies if possible. And here's a 37. But the way I do the trophies is I tend to, well, on this route, what I did on this route, I took a Class 08 from Darlington and I literally just went along the whole route at a snail's pace, and every time I saw a collectible I just jumped out. I found it quite satisfying doing it that way, but I know others have different methods. Others will just collect them as they see them, as they're waiting at stations. But I know on this route there are a lot of collectibles that are scattered along the way. We just passed one on the right just there, which is the sort of metal fuse box or signal box. Not quite sure what it actually is. Communications box at the side of the track. There are a few of those that need repairing, so not every collectible on this route does actually appear at a station, so I found it easier just to go along at the pace of a gronk and just keep jumping out, and you get to see a little bit more of the route as well by running at that speed. So if you've got a couple of hours, it's a good way to do it. Depends on how much time you've got. So we are taking a right here on towards Thornaby. Locals will be able to tell me where the route continues. They're off up to the left. For the sheer power and oomph this Class 43 has got, obviously it's wasted on this route, but it is really nice to use it on a route that isn't as fast. So we're starting to slow up now, ready for the station. There is a collectible on this signal box there, I remember. I can see it there, the light flashing on the side of the signal box. So we're okay speed wise, but it is going to reduce us again straight after this 35. down to a 20. So just going back to trophies, if you do collect trophies and achievements, of course, being able to swap different logos and engines across different routes gives you a bit more of a chance to get those mileage related loco specific trophies. I think this HST has got complete 430 miles in the HST. So previously you would just have had to have got 430 miles going up and down the Great Western Express, but now you can move this around wherever you like in the scenario planner. It might be a bit easier to do that. Especially if you put it on a longer route like Sherman Hill on the TGV. Or LGV, I should say. So we got some passengers waiting. I bet they didn't expect this to roll through. There's the old Thornaby signal box there on the right, just ahead of us. On the left, I should say. Just creep forward to this stop marker. That will do. Let's get the doors open. Don't know if we've got any takers. I think in scenario planner it doesn't animate any passengers getting on or off. It doesn't know that, I think it doesn't know that anybody is meant to be doing that as a 166 rolls through. So you can symbolically stop, open and close the doors, but I don't think you'll see anybody get on or off. The minute you pull up at the stop marker, it gives you the next objective for the next station, so that may be something that they could add in the next iteration of scenario planner. So Middlesbrough will be our next stop. And as we pass Thornaby Depot here on the left, we'll have a quick look if there's any traffic there. Usually there are some trains. I can see some there over on the far left. Probably a couple of 37s. But we'll take a look as we drive past. We're moving into a 50, so we'll be able to speed up soon. This scenario has been on pretty much since the beginning of Creators Club on Thursday last week, so I imagine many of you will have already played this. It is again one of the more popular ones. I can see 37s, class 20s. So if you played this, let me know how you found it. Is it something you'll play again? It's quite a pleasant one. Quite a relaxing scenario. I mean, I would assume in the future, if DTG can make liveries such as this, you know, there may be some livery packs coming up in the future that they may sell through Creators Club. maybe there'll be a paid area within Creators Club where DTG can sell officially licensed skins. May not need a logo with it. The logo may already exist in the game, but it could be an idea for them to do that. I'm sure they've considered it. You know, if the quality of the reskin is such as this one, then I think they will be quite popular. And they could probably do those fairly quickly. It will take time to develop a brand new locomotive for when we get the loco DLCs, but in the case of just a reskin using the tools that they've got, which are obviously more powerful than the ones they've given us in Creators Club, they could do some really nice skins. But as they've said many times, it's down to licensing and being able to get the license. Now this First Great Western, don't know what the story is with this one. I don't know if they had the license and they developed this one and then maybe lost the license, so it wasn't made public, or whether they just didn't go with this First Great Western one and decided to go with the GWR one that we know on Great Western Express. I'm not sure of the backstory. I'm learning a little bit more about it as I go along. So we'll soon be calling in at Middlesbrough. And from Middlesbrough, of course, we get into the very industrial part of the Tees Valley line. There's another 101 passes us. Just over half a mile. Good for speed. So I just noticed this HST is 43345. I'm not sure if it's the same one in each scenario. I'll have to go back and look at the previous one that we did, or whether that's random. Very slow approach into Middlesbrough. More 37 freight. So as predicted, TomFresco's put quite a bit of traffic in this scenario coming the other way. Just keeps it alive with plenty to see. Just crawl forward a little bit. Right on the money. So let's open the doors again and close them. And we'll just have a few seconds here, just go through the motions. We can pretend we're full up. So the next stop will be our final destination, which is Redcar Central, just over 7 miles. So we will have a section coming up where we will be able to get some speed up. This area is quite nice to the left ahead of us. If you go into the free camera and you fly over there, there's a docks over there, which for a long time, just staying mainly in the cab when driving on this route, I didn't know existed. So it's sometimes worth just going out of the cab and flying around as far as you can reach, just to have a look what's around you, because there are some areas of these routes that have been modelled that don't always get called out, so you need to explore to be able to find those. So we should soon be able to accelerate up to 35 once the rear of the train passes that board that we just went past, and then we've got a 60 coming up not far after that. So we should be able to cover this 7 miles fairly quickly. Now I wonder, did this HST ever run on the Tees Valley line in real life? I suppose it is possible. Because just outside Darlington you've got the main line there, so another 66. With a type of freight you don't normally see on this route. It's usually steel and coal, and with the 31 there was also limestone and cement, I believe. So we can start to accelerate. It's a very flat route, Tees Valley. There isn't much gradient along any of the sections of the route, which I guess when you're running heavy freight trains like the 37, which comes with this route, is a good thing. So we'll soon have to drop the speed back down to 45 as we go through the disused South Bank station. The new one is just further up under this bridge. I do believe we have our thumbnail coming up. This will make a very nice rail shot. Dovetail live. Our 166 blocks that view. Yeah, I think that's going to be the one. So we'll observe this 45 miles per hour limit. We're still way under. Too busy taking screenshots. Very busy for the HST today on this route. So we should be able to drop the hammer very, very shortly. Couple of 37s there. And a couple more. All waiting to leave the yard. Probably on the way down to Thornaby or beyond. Of course, over on the left there is where the bulk of the 37 services go to and from. Bringing coal backwards and forwards. But we're going to branch off to the right here, on towards Redcar, just over 2 miles. So we're looking at about 40 minutes, I would say, 40 minutes for the whole scenario, right the way through from Darlington. So again, you know, quite a short one, but nonetheless very interesting. Lots of traffic, see various amounts of traffic coming the other way. It's not normally this busy in normal timetable mode on Tees Valley, so that's really nice to see. The HST in this first Great Western livery, you don't need me to talk about that anymore. You know what I think about that. I think everybody on Creators Club finds that really nice, and it's been so popular, especially with console players who've not seen it before. So please do drop it down in the comments if there are any others you're playing that are interesting. I have got the most of the routes, as I said, so you know, if there is one that you recommend me to put up on the channel, let me know down below. I'll check that one out and subscribe to it and run that, and we can perhaps feature that on a future video. So we're approaching Redcar now. And this is where this service will terminate. We've got traffic in the other platform. So I hope you've enjoyed it. That's going to be about it for this scenario. Please do leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks to everybody that has done so far. I really appreciate each and every like, comment and subscription. Really do. It's nice to see. I'll be picking out some new items from Creators Club to come back with later this week. So until then, take care. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.